Hey everybody, this is Greg.
And this is Matt, and we are Record Mashup. We're excited for this episode. I'm so excited, Greg. This is going to be one of the best episodes I think we've ever done. But before we get into it, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so now. And be sure to follow us wherever you are on social media, whether that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even check out our YouTube page. We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment. Send us an email at recordmashup@gmail.com. Whatever you do, just do it. Greg, what we got lined up for this week?
Before we get into it, I really just want to show off that I have the Frankenstein's Monster t-shirt on, and this is for our episode for Halloween coming up. And so we picked this as our Halloween theme episode because on Saturday it will be Halloween. The song I picked for this is Thriller by Michael Jackson. Matt, what you got for us?
And I picked Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, and I'll explain why that is a Halloween song when we get into it, but let's get into it. So Rhiannon is a soft rock song that was recorded in February of 1975, and it wasn't released as a single until almost a year later, February 4th, 1976. This was a song that was written by Stevie Nicks and was recorded with the classic Fleetwood Mac lineup. Now, I say classic Fleetwood Mac lineup. If you know anything about Fleetwood Mac, the band was around for many years, and eventually Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, who were originally, actually at the time when Stevie wrote this song, were still recording as a duo group, Buckingham Nicks, but they eventually joined Fleetwood Mac after Fleetwood Mac had already released several albums. But once they joined the band, they're considered their involvement in the group is considered to be the classic Fleetwood Mac lineup. So anyway, this is a song that Stevie wrote with the help of Lindsey, and it's a song about an old Welsh witch, and which is why it's a Halloween theme song. It's a song about a witch. So what's interesting, Stevie actually discovered this character, and she describes it in her, when she talks about the song, she describes it as a character. Rhiannon is a character. And it came from a novel that she read called Triad. I'm not really sure, Triad, I guess, which was actually, Triad, which was written by a lady by the name of Mary Leader. Again, I don't know how you say her last name, but anyway. And it's actually a story about another woman named Bronwyn who was possessed by a woman named Rhiannon. So Stevie Nicks had read this book, and she said, "Oh, that's she was possessed by this story, not possessed, but she was enamored by this story, and she decided to write a song about it." And then after she wrote this song, she eventually learned that the name Rhiannon actually goes back even further. It originates from a Welsh goddess. And what's interesting, I actually, in researching this song, found out that Stevie Nicks has actually written several other songs that are centered around this whole Welsh story of the witch and the goddess and everything, including songs called Stay Away, Maker of the Birds, and another Fleetwood Mac song called Angel that was released on their 12th studio album, Tusk. But let's get into the song. I really like this song musically. I'm a huge Fleetwood Mac fan. I think this is the first Fleetwood Mac song we've done on the show, but really love their stuff. It's very creative and artistic and really unique from other classic rock bands of the era. But in the first verse, and I'm going to read through some of the lines here, but she says, "Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't you love to love her?" So she's talking about this idea of how Rhiannon, or this character, is someone who loves to garner attention. She's like a bell calling people in the night, and people can't help but fall in love with her. And then the next line, "She takes to the sky like a bird in flight, and who will be her lover?" So she's saying that Rhiannon, who was, among several other things, was a goddess of the birds, and and this idea of, will she always fly away, or will she allow someone to be to her lover? Who knows? Then we get into the chorus. "All your life, you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win?" So it's this idea that she can't be tied down. or else she will lose herself, and trying to be with her is pointless because she's always going to be free. Then we get into verse 2. We get some more Halloween theme here, which I love.
I can tell you love Halloween a lot, Matt.
Oh yeah. Although you're the one with the monster shirt, so Frankenstein shirt. I got no cool shirts. Sorry, folks. But yeah, so verse 2, we've got this line here. She is like a cat in the dark, and then she is the darkness. This is such creative writing. You got the use of a simile here, immediately followed by a metaphor, where she's referring to a black cat that then merges into the darkness of night. Now, I love this because we've got cats, which, of course, have always been associated with witches. And the other thing I really like about this line that harkens back on the chorus that we just heard about how she can't be tied down. I think this reference to cats is kind of referring to the independence of cats. Greg, I don't have cats. I know you do, but would you say that they're fairly independent creatures?
It really depends on the day, the time of day, if they've been fed, if they have water, if they just don't want to like you, if they do want to like you. They're mysterious. A dog will either always hate you or always love you. There's no in between with them. The cat, I guess that's independent. I don't know. Maybe it's moody, bipolarism, whatever. I don't know. It's my cat. But my cats 1 second will love me, the next second they're scratching at me, trying to bite me and eat me. So
Yeah.
Can't win with them.
Well, let's just go with mysterious and darkness. There you go. They're one and the same. Anyway, so then we got this next line. She rules her life like a fine skylark, and when the sky is starless. Again, we get this second reference to a bird here. Again, Rhiannon, Welsh goddess of birds, one of the things she was a goddess of. But the thing that's interesting about this is it's specifically referring to a singing bird that is active in the night when there are no stars. So again, this theme of darkness is carrying through here in this next line. And then there's actually a part that was to this verse that was not included in the studio album, but was later added on future recordings and then live performances. But once in a million years, a lady like her rises. Oh no, Rhiannon, you cry, but she's gone. Your life knows no answer. So this idea that this person who's out in the middle of the darkness and she's such a powerful, has a powerful mystique about her that so few will ever come into contact with her. And it's probably, going back to the first verse, why people, when they see her, they're instantly in love with her, right? Because she has this mysterious air about her. So, and then we get into, then she repeats several lines throughout the song, just kind of further enhancing this imagery of the mystique and mysteriousness of this character. But then we get into the outro portion of the song where she says, taken by the sky, dreams unwind, love's a state of mind. And among all the other things we've mentioned, the Welsh goddess Rhiannon was also the goddess of dreams, poetry, horses, love, and the sea. And so this line here, love's a state of mind. Well, if love's a state of mind, does love even exist? So again, the whole way through, that's talking about, the people want to fall in love with her, but can you really fall in love if love is just a state of mind? And I think that this is a song that you almost have to listen to it over and over again to really kind of start to understand what's being said here. I think it's such a deep song. And what's crazy to me is, if you know anything about Stevie Nicks, I think it's absolutely incredible how her actual life in many ways has played out much like the character in this song. And she wrote it when she was only 27 years old. So, Stevie Nicks has never been married. Many people think she is a witch. She has this
extensive knowledge of Stevie Nicks is I'm not a Fleetwood Mac fan, in the reason that I just haven't listened to their music before, not because I don't like it. So my Stevie Nicks knowledge is just based on American Horror Story, and that she's a witch in Coven, the Coven season with the witches in American Horror Story. So that's my full extensive knowledge of her.
Yeah.
She must be a witch
Well,
on that show as a witch.
exactly. Yeah. So, and she's got she's built this image, right? That's her image, that she is a witch. And so, it's, who knows, maybe she is, maybe she takes flight at night. You never know. But, anyway, that's really all I got to the song. I really, really love Fleetwood Mac. This is one of the better songs. I was actually, in doing the research, I watched a live performance of this from 1976 on a show called The Midnight Special. And it was just absolutely amazing. Her performance of the song, as she builds up over a gradual crescendo from the band, and just her raw voice and soul that she puts into this performance. It's unbelievable. But anyway, the song hit number 11 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. It did hit number 9 on the U.S. Cashbox Top 100. And then it hit number 4 in Canada, 14 in Australia, 16 in the Netherlands, and 46 in the UK. But what's interesting, Greg, I don't know if you saw this, despite media, well, I guess you could say it had a top 10. It was a top 10 hit in a couple of countries, but not a huge chart topper, but it was voted number 488 on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time list. So has a lasting legacy, I think, to it. And as you said, it was on the American Horror Story, which is, as we were talking about before we started recording, was my favorite season of American Horror Story. So
it was one of the better ones, and maybe that's because Stevie Nicks was in there.
Exactly. She brought her charm. She brought her, I don't know. Well, I can't think of the right word for a witch, but she brought whatever it is witches have.
Yeah. I can't think of a word off the top of my head either.
So anyway, it's a good song. If you've never heard it before, listen to it. Again, as I say, if you really start to dig into the lyrics, you've got to listen to it multiple times and really start to think about what she's saying there, and the lines and the mystique and mysteriousness behind it. It's a good song. So, Greg, you want to jump into Thriller? I'm excited about this song.
So not going to focus too much on the lyrics. It's not very in depth either. And there's way too many facts about this song. We're not going to cover every fact about the song. We're going to try to cover what facts we can. Otherwise, this would go on for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours just talking about Thriller. And I'm sure not anyone at all wants to hear us talk about Thriller, because we are by means no experts on Michael Jackson music and the song Thriller, but we'll just throw in our 2 cents for it. Okay, getting into it. Lyrics, not very involved at all. Mostly just kind of a song like Monster Mash was, where it's just a Halloween-themed song that has a sweet 13-minute music video that you can go watch. And that's the actual official music video, and it's great. I loved it. I just watched it before recording this. Okay, jumping into it. Sorry, I digress. All right, so it's close to midnight, and some evil's lurking in the dark under the moonlight. You see a sight that almost stops your heart. So just talking about a monster possibly coming out. It's getting close to midnight, but anytime it's dark outside, it's after midnight. After 2 a.m., some people say nothing good happens after 2 a.m. So same thing can be said for midnight too. You try to scream, but terror takes a sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. You see something that scares you. You try to scream. I'm sure someone's been in this situation before where you try to scream, nothing comes out. You're just struck with too much fear that you can't let anything out. If you've ever had like night terror, seen a scary movie or anything like that, you've probably witnessed this.
Yep.
Which, by the way, night terror is the most terrible. That's the most terrible thing that you can ever have happen to you. Like, I don't know if you've ever had that, Matt. It's awful. Like the way it works is your body is asleep, but your eyes are open and your mind is awake. So you can't move your body, but you can process things.
That's
and
weird.
The way people see things when they're in that state is they see demons coming at them because how their mind processes things. It's absolutely terrifying. I've had them before, and I know that's fake, so like it doesn't really affect me. but like some people it can really affect. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. Sounds terrifying.
All right. So, because this is Thriller Night. So, first off, the song's called Thriller. It's off his album Thriller. It's all about thriller, get scary monsters. The music video goes into werewolves and zombies coming out to attack Michael Jackson and this girl he's with, and Michael Jackson eventually turns into a zombie. And that's kind of the theme across this song and the music video. And basically, no one's going to save you from the beast about to strike. It's Thriller Night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight. Sorry, I'm not going to try and sing this at all. Michael Jackson's a much better singer than me. I'm just going to talk the words at you, and that's how this is going to go. And then you hear the door slam and realize no one's there, or there's nowhere left to run. You feel the cold hand and wonder if you'll ever see the sun. So basically, you run to a room. The room is there's no escape from the room, and then you feel a cold hand on you, and that just basically terrifies you, and you're kind of done there. Like, there's nothing you can do. And then you close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination, girl, but all the while you hear the creature creeping up behind. You're out of time. And then it goes, because this is Thriller, it goes into the whole chorus of the Thriller song, because it's a thriller night. Just continuously goes into that, and there's sweet dance breakdowns in the video. And if you haven't ever seen the Thriller dance video, there's a whole bunch of them out there. We'll kind of get more into the video after I finish these lyrics and stop breaking off on tangents. All right. Okay, where was I? All right.
Night Creature's Call.
Yeah. Because it's Thriller. All right. Night Creature's Call, and the dead start to walk in their masquerade. There's no escaping the jaws of the alien this time. They're open wide. This is the end of your life. Still going back to that Thriller, creepy theme here, talking about the dead starting to crawl, so zombies coming out, as I said earlier. And they're out to get you. There's demons closing in on every side. They will possess you unless you change that number on your dial. I'm just going to skip ahead into the lyrics and a little bit. And then, so it goes into, I'm going to thrill you tonight. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. So this is actually Vincent Price. He just directed a whole bunch of horror movies. This is a background voice that's actually talking throughout the song. And he's the one actually talking through these.
He did it in 2 takes too.
Yeah, it just took him 2 takes, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Comparatively to, like, normally more people take quite a few takes. And I know there's some exceptions where people do it like on the first take and they're done and they're good. But 2 takes is still pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood, and whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand or face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. So basically telling you it's kind of saying that whoever's found and whoever's like not getting down partying kind of thing, they're going to be found as like a corpse's shell. Like if you're not having fun, you're not like a shell of a person really. And that goes back into some of the chorus. And then it goes back into Vincent Price talking. The foul stench is in the air. The funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of a thriller. So going back into that Halloween theme. So I think this is a great Halloween song. I always relate to this Halloween theme. If you relate it to something else, however you relate it, that's what you can relate it to. But basically every year, since I've been, I don't know, able to remember, like 3 or 4 or whatever, able to remember, I've watched the Thriller music video. Maybe when I was 3 or 4, I probably shouldn't have watched it. And let me watch
probably
it.
Terrified you.
It's kind of a little bit gruesome, actually. So while we're talking about it, we'll get into it. So the the video starts off with Michael Jackson with this girl. The car runs out of gas, and he turns into a werewolf and actually attacks her and like goes to kill her. And it's actually a movie that Michael Jackson is taking another date to watch. And then eventually they're walking. He starts getting into the Thriller song, dancing around, doing his Michael Jackson amazing dancing that makes me super jealous. And he is very effective at it. And then he goes into getting surrounded by a whole bunch of zombies while he's with this girl. And then when she turns around, he's actually a zombie. And I was thinking when I was looking at the music, watching the music video, like, I've seen so many zombie movies, play zombie games. I'm like, there's no way someone would die from a zombie. Like, this is stupid. If you're in I Am Legend where they like bull rush you and can run at you, sure, maybe. But if you're in like Night of the Living Dead where they can barely walk and try to attack you, like, how do you die from that? But then I watched this music video, and if any of those zombies are as coordinated as they were in that, they're like dancing around, like got all these sweet moves, like, you're screwed. Like, no chance. Not happening. You are not getting away from zombies. Matt, have you watched the video recently?
Yeah, I watched it earlier today before we recorded. So good.
Absolutely. You know what I'm talking about then. Like,
Yeah.
These guys are like all in sync. They're dancing as good as Michael Jackson or better. They're zombies.
Yeah.
Like, their arms should be falling off. Their head should be like hanging off, basically. Like, this is crazy. These are just like your regular Joe Smo zombie. Like, apparently these guys like hold like collaborative dance contests on like their off time or something. But anyways, they're crazy. Like, I would be terrified. But going through the video, it falls in line with the lyrics that are going on, and especially where it talked about going into that room with nowhere to escape. The girl that he's on the date with runs into a room. There's nowhere to escape. All of them start attacking her, and she's like freaking out and eventually closes her eyes. And then she eventually wakes up, and there's Michael Jackson, and they're just in a normal house and not this broke down house. So going into the lyrics where it's talking about, you just hope you can close your eyes, hope that this is your imagination. It goes perfectly in line with that. They did great with matching the lyrics to the video and working to make that work together for this video. And then at the very end, Michael Jackson turns to the camera and his eyes glow yellow, like he is a werewolf actually. So it just kind of throws that mystery of like, hey, Michael Jackson's this like werewolf that they're trying to get at for the Thriller. So he is part of the Thriller. So that's the song breakdown. That's the music video breakdown. I'm trying to speak really fast so we can get through this, so we can actually get through song facts for you. And I keep digressing, and that's wasting time. I know. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
So I know Matt has some facts, and I have some facts. I'm going to try and get through my song facts first, really quick, and let Matt throw in his 2 cents. And then we'll kind of compare the songs at the end so that we don't keep you here for hours and hours on end. All right, viewers, you ready? Okay. First one. Matt, did you have anything to add before I actually go in? I don't want to cut you off.
No, let's go for it.
All right. So
it's fact spit time.
All right, fact spit time. So I'm going to throw out about 3 facts for you guys, and I'll let Matt throw them out, and then we'll kind of get into the song, the record breakdown, unless that's part of Matt's facts. So first one is Vincent Price. I already brought this up. He's known for working on horror films, and he was the one who did the narration at the end of the song and has that iconic evil laugh. I know I've heard a lot of other songs, like rap songs, where they'll actually take that laugh and throw it into their song, whether it's the beginning or the end of the song. So it's a very iconic laugh. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't do it. I am not Vincent Price. You'll have to listen to the song to figure that out. But
Greg, I think we each have to give our best go at it.
No, absolutely not. We'll just play a clip from the video, and then they'll be in the background. I'm sorry. I've already embarrassed myself trying to sing the Jackson 5 before our earlier episode.
That's right.
I'm done. I'm done.
With your ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, thank you for trying to imitate it. I think you did better than me.
All right. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
If you want to give a shot at the laugh, go ahead for it. Otherwise, we're going to continue moving on.
No, I'm good.
All right. So if you haven't seen anything from Vincent Price, you can go look him up, check him out. He's done work on work on many horror films in the past. So, all right. So that was one fact. The next fact I want to do, let me just pull it up really quick so that okay. In the week of his death, Michael Jackson's death, rest in peace, Michael Jackson. His records of sales of his records soared. Okay, and this song specifically was his best-selling track at 167,000 copies. So very amazing that this track was his best-selling track. I know he's had a lot of amazing songs, and I did not picture this one being his number one best-selling track. All right, and then the third one. So the Thriller dance has been a very famous Thriller dance. You've probably seen it on news shows, like entertainment shows, whatever it may be. But there was one take on this that was amazing. It was the inmates dancing to Thriller on a YouTube video. Matt, have you seen this before?
I have. Yeah. Was it like, wasn't it, it was in, I didn't watch it to research this video, but wasn't it like in Malaysia or somewhere?
It's
Or
at
am I
the
getting it mixed up?
CPDRC Dancing Inmates. Is a collective of prison inmates in Cebu province in the Philippines.
Okay. Okay. I knew it was somewhere.
It's words that I'm having issues saying, so I'm just going to say Cebu province in the Philippines. So if you haven't seen it, you can look it up. Thriller viral video with prison inmates. There's a ton of them there. It's even got its own Wikipedia page. And this happened in 2007. Amazing. There's so many different takes on Thriller video dances that are very fun to watch. And I highly recommend taking a chance to go look at those. Anyways, those are my three facts I wanted to throw out there. Matt, let's get into your facts about Thriller.
Yeah. So we talked a lot about Vincent Price. Did you know, Greg, that Vincent Price actually recorded a third verse for his voiceover?
I actually did not see that.
Yeah.
There's so many facts about this. There's too many to keep track of.
Yeah, so the second verse was cut in the final version. They only kept his first and third verses. So the second verse, I'll read it to you. The demons squeal in sheer delight. It's you they spy, so plump, so right. For though the groove is hard to beat, yet still you stand with frozen feet. You try to run, you try to scream, but no more sun you'll ever see. For evil reaches from the crypt to crush you in its icy grip. I like it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, they should have kept it. Extended
I know.
play, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. What else? So that's fact number one. All right, fact number two. We're going to stick with Vincent Price here. So apparently, Vincent Price was doing an interview, and he was given the choice, I guess by Michael Jackson or Quincy Jones, who was the producer of this, to either take a percentage of the album sales or a lump sum amount of $20,000. Which do you think he chose?
$20,000.
Yep.
Oh,
what a crazy,
man.
crazy man. If you don't
always
know,
take the percentage. Always take it. If you know anything, always take it. There was, I'm forgetting. I think I said on the last episode that we did, there was an actor. I want to say it was Robert Downey Jr. for the Avengers movies, took a percentage cut on the first Iron Man movie. I want to say it was him. Maybe it was Keanu Reeves for like The Matrix or something. Anyways, big actor, took a percentage cut, vice a lump sum, which allowed them to pay the other actors more. But in the long run, he got paid more. Always take the percentage.
Yeah. And if you don't know, this is a bonus fact. That just doesn't count. But the reason he should have taken the percentage is because the Thriller album is the number one selling album in the entire world. He would have made a killing off of this album. Anyway, all right. Fact number three. I'm gonna say a fact here, and then I'm gonna go into a story before we do our comparison.
Okay.
So, Michael Jackson's red jacket that he wears in the music video was sold in June of 2011 for $1.8 million for that red and black leather jacket. It's crazy. So Greg, you've talked a lot about the Thriller dance video. So I've got a really cool story I got to tell, personal story. I was, I think it was my senior year of high school. I was in marching band. I was the drum major. And every year we would always, if there was a home football game on Halloween weekend, our band would always do a special Halloween show. We'd pick some easy songs that, you could quickly learn, and everybody would dress up in, costumes and stuff. And we'd perform, a special Halloween show during halftime of the football game. Well, my senior year of high school, our band director got really sick, and he was off like the whole week, and everyone was really disappointed. We weren't sure if we are going to be able to do the special Halloween show, which, is always fun every year. So my co-drum major and we decided, no, there's no way in hell we're going to let this thing, not happen. So he and I wrote an entire show. Like, we picked out the music, we taught the music to the band, like we taught the choreography on the field to the band. But one of the songs we did was Thriller. And I kid you not, Greg, I dressed up as Michael Jackson as my costume with the Thriller red jacket. We taught the entire band like a simplified version of the Thriller dance. And like in the middle of like the Thriller song, like the drum line kept doing the that part from the song. And the entire band put their instruments down and did a portion of the Thriller dance as part of our band show for our special Halloween show.
Michael Jackson experiences are much better than mine.
I wouldn't say that they're better. They're unique, but
but my Michael Jackson story experience is me going to the Motown Museum, and they had his glove in a case there. So you know how it's got like all the jewels and everything on it?
Yep.
So they're all fake, because that would be a very expensive glove. Someone thought they were real, stole it from the Motown Museum, realized they're fake, and then returned it.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always thought it was in the Smithsonian, but that makes sense that it would be in.
Maybe it was like a different glove of his, because I'm sure he didn't only have one glove.
Right. That's true. Yeah. No, that's cool though. So.
All right. So you want to get into comparing these songs? Because we actually, let's go through the chart tops for it really quick, and then we'll get into comparing the song.
Sounds good.
So for the original release of the song in 1983, when it first came out, it was #1 in almost everywhere except for Germany. It was #2. In Japan, it was #6. So it was #1 on the U.S. Billboard 200, the Hot Black albums, #1 on the UK albums, Netherlands, France, Italy, Canada, Austria, and Australia. So #1 everywhere, pretty much. And then when it was re-released it was actually re-released multiple times. 1984, it only topped #1 Switzerland and Japan, but it was still top 10 in multiple other places. So it's obviously a very good song. Charted very well. Okay, that's all I had. Matt, you want to get into comparing?
Yeah. So aside from the fact that they're Halloween theme, that's really all I got.
I mean, witches, zombies, werewolves, they're pretty similar themes, but I think
they're pretty similar musically too. I think
they both kind of have. Thriller's a little bit more upbeat as far as music goes.
But Rhiannon has a part in it where it really kind of gets to going. It's got that nice hard drum beat behind it. And it really kind of builds up. And I think that's the one thing I'll say, particularly from the live performances of Rhiannon more so. But both songs, I think, have this kind of suspenseful buildup to them. And then they kind of fall down at the end, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So. Yeah,
definitely. But different backstories and themes to the song as well. Like Rhiannon, they like the name. Read the book, kind of got some good stuff there. Thriller, it's a horror video and song.
It was intentionally written to be that way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think that's really the extent of the comparisons between them. I still think very different songs, like Michael Jackson. By the way, if you watch the music video and put it in 1.5 times, very fun watch. Recommend doing it on YouTube. I think there's a lot of choreography and upbeat like sense that Michael Jackson always has in a lot of his songs comparatively though. Which is not to say that there's not like enthusiasm and love into the Rihanna song, Rhiannon. Just different takes on how they need to be performed.
Yes. Yeah. Completely agree. In fact, actually, I think most of Michael Jackson, you think about how they perform them. Michael Jackson tried to imitate the video in his live performances. I don't know if you've ever seen a live performance of the song.
I have,
but yeah.
I think that's just what everyone expects, though, is the little dance, you know?
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, and then he would, turn around and like, his dancers would kind of hide him, and he'd turn back around with the wolf mask on.
Yeah.
Actually, I just saw, I think the, I can't remember what year anniversary it was, maybe 9th or 10th year anniversary of the This Is It documentary was the other day. So I don't know if you ever saw the video.
I feel like I might have. Maybe. I'd have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it came out in October 28th, 2009. So yeah, it was yesterday. The 11th.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah. We're recording this on the 29th, in case you're listening later. October 29th.
Yes.
Anyway.
October 29th, 2020. And we have 2 days to Halloween, so make sure you dress up, practice social distancing, have a fun Halloween. I'll be throwing candy out on my porch for the one child that lives across the street.
More than us. All right.
But Matt, did you have anything else for a comparison?
No, I think that's everything. No, I mean, we could, like I said, we could go on and on about Thriller. There's so many other facts that we've got, but look it up. There's some really cool stuff out there about the song. Greg, you got anything?
Nope. You want to introduce what we got going on for our next podcast that we're actually going to do in 2 weeks from now? So we're going to take a week off for Election Day, and we're going to have our next one the week after that.
Yeah, so regardless of what happens in the election, there will be some kind of change. So we're going to do a theme centered around change, and I am going to do REO Speedwagon's Roll with the Changes. Greg, what song are you doing?
I'll be taking Tupac's Changes.
Perfect.
All right.
Well,
and with that, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any friends that you think would be interested, please send them the link to wherever you're listening to us at. That could be Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. You can catch us on Castbox or any other streaming service that you would like to use. We also have YouTube, and we also have an Instagram that I'm really trying to update more often now. I've been a little bit lacking at that. And we also have a Twitter that we can talk to you at. Additionally, we have an email, recordmashup@gmail.com. So please send us an email. Let us know what you think. Let us know what changes we should make, what things we should keep the same, whether you want one of us off the show, which won't happen, or whether you want to keep both of us, just anything. Please send us some feedback so we know what you're looking for. And with that, have a good night.
Take care, guys.